So let us understand the transport of CO2. My voice is low. Okay. Is it okay now? Is my voice fine now or is it still okay? Hello? Can you all hear me clearly or not, beta? Now it's okay? Okay, fine. Good. So we'll go ahead with the transport of carbon dioxide. How does this take place in our body? Yeah. Transport of CO2. ये क्या करके रखा है मेरे बेटे ने 1 minute हाँ okay fine. So well, so let's talk about the transport of CO2. During oxidation of food, carbon dioxide, water, and energy are going to be produced. Okay. Of course, you know, I think you might have known this equation that C6H12O6 is going to give us 6CO2 plus 12H2O plus energy. है ना? ये आपको पता होगा. Maybe. If not, in the next lecture, we are going to go ahead with that. Fine. Anyways, so from the cells, carbon dioxide in gaseous state diffuses out of the cell into the capillaries. Now it's going to be, like the way I said, it's a two-way traffic. You know? So from the cells, now what will happen? I told you the breakdown of our complex substances, that whatever we consume will be broken down into the individual cells, right? And from the cells, the byproduct. I'm not audible, is it? I'm not audible to all of you all, or is it only with one child? I'm perfectly audible now. Krishna, check your connection. Krishna, kindly check your connection because all others are saying that I'm audible. So I think there is some problem with your connections or your device. Okay. So the cells would make a byproduct called as carbon dioxide. As I said earlier also that I'll prove that how the CO2 is going to be a byproduct in our cells, how this is going to be made. I'll prove this in the next chapter, right? So from the cells, carbon dioxide in the gaseous state diffuses out of the cells into the blood capillaries. Okay. When oxygen will enter inside, we saw CO2 is going to move outside. From capillaries, it is transported by three ways. So once they are inside the capillaries, once the CO2 is inside the capillaries, how is it going to be transported? So there are three methods of transporting this. First, they are saying as dissolved gas. So you know that gases are going to be having the capacity to get dissolved. So in the first instance, that they are saying is going to be what? They are going to be in the form of dissolved gases. So see, a very small amount of CO2, that is only 5 to 7%. Please focus on the percentage. They ask you questions on this. Okay, so it's only 5 to 7% of the total amount of the CO2 will get dissolved in the blood plasma. So it's going to get dissolved in the plasma and is carried as physical solution to the lungs. See, ultimately destination remains the same. Destination क्या है, कहाँ लेके जाना है CO2 को? Towards the lungs. Okay, so first route is what? Get dissolved in plasma and get transported as solution. This is the first route. Second route is the most common route. Okay, what is it? See, about 70% of CO2. Look over here, focus on this. 70%. This is only 5 to 7%. And don't you think major chunk, majority of CO2 is going to adopt this particular method? What is it? As bicarbonate. So see, about 70% of CO2 enters the erythrocytes, RBCs of course, where it reacts with water to form carbonic acid. So CO2 plus H2O. Of course, there are enzymes involved, which I'll be talking about eventually. Okay, that is anhydrase as we call it. So under the influence of certain enzymes, there's going to be formation of carbonic acid. As said, see, anhydrase, that is carbonic anhydrase. So about 70% of the CO2 will react with water in the presence of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase to form carbonic acid. Is it okay? Have you all understood? So around 5 to 7% of the CO2 got dissolved in the plasma and is going to be carried out as solution. About 70% of CO2 reacted with the water, fine, and in the presence of the enzyme anhydrase, that is carbonic anhydrase, has produced carbonic acid. Okay till here? Carbonic acid? Okay. Second point, just look at it. In erythrocytes, most of the carbonic acid rapidly dissociates to form bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. So this carbonic acid is going to immediately split up. It's going to immediately dissociate. And on dissociation of this carbonic acid, it is going to produce what? What are the two things that is going to produce? See, bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion means your H plus. Did you all understand this reaction very clearly? Okay, so formation of bicarbonates is going to be a major and important step for elimination of CO2 from the cells, from the cells where it was produced to get out from our body. No, beta, it's your RBCs. It's going to be your RBCs. Erythrocytes are red blood cells, RBCs. Fine? Yeah, yeah. So these two things have you all understood very clearly? Having any difficulty with understanding of these things? देखो एक बार सोच के बताओ मुझे कुछ difficulty है क्या? If there is anything, do let me know. Simple? Simple na? Okay. Well, then we go to the next one. What does it say? Look, you want me to explain again? See, the first method is going to be the CO2 will directly get dissolved in the plasma of our blood. Fine. And it is going to be transported to the lungs in the form of solution, physical solutions. Okay. On the other hand, almost 70% of CO2 will enter the red blood cells, correct, where it will react with water. Okay, so the water component of the RBCs would react with the entered CO2 to form carbonic acid in the presence of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. Fine. So CO2 plus H2O in the presence of carbonic anhydrase will give us carbonic acid. This carbonic acid is going to be unstable. So what will happen again in the presence of the same enzyme? Okay, the same enzyme is going to be acting again. So again in the presence of the same carbonic anhydrase, this carbonic acid would then split to form bicarbonates and hydrogen ion, that is H plus. Reaction में आगे दिखाती हूँ. I'll show you with the reactions, after this particular slide. Fine? Understood now? Okay. Now, the bicarbonate ions pass out from the erythrocytes into the plasma. Now see, this is the funniest thing. What is it? जो bicarbonates बने हैं ना बेटा, HCO3, ओके, ये जो बने हैं कहाँ बने हैं ये आरबीसी के अंदर बने हैं, करेक्ट. तो आरबीसी इज फ्लोटिंग, इट्स फ्लोइंग in the blood plasma. So what will happen now? This particular bicarbonates will squeeze out themselves from the RBCs to enter the blood plasma. Did you all understand this point? A very crucial point. It's a very important point. सबसे पहले CO2 entered into the RBCs, reacted with H2O, formed carbonic acid. Carbonic acid split up into H plus and bicarbonates. Then bicarbonates came out from the erythrocytes or RBCs to enter inside the blood plasma. So it's something, it appears like this. I'll just show you. See, if this is going to be the blood capillary, okay, and these are going to be the, RBCs, okay, ये जो है वो RBC है, तो ये है बेटा अपना RBC. I'll use another color so that you can see it very clearly. I think white. Yeah. So this is going to be the RBC. It's flowing via the plasma. Okay. It's not visible. Is it not visible? Now it will be visible. So see, this is going to be the capillary. This is going to be the capillary. These are going to be the RBCs, which are flowing via the capillaries. Okay. This RBC, this is plasma. That's the liquid portion which is present in our blood. Now, this RBC के अंदर क्या बना है? इस RBC के अंदर बना है HCO3 plus H plus. Okay. Now, what is going to happen? This HCO3 will come out of here into the plasma. It will come into the plasma. Now, understood how it is actually happening? So the formation is going to be inside. So what has happened, as I said just now, what did I say just now? That CO2 plus H2O will give us carbonic acid. It will give us carbonic acid. Correct? Now this carbonic acid would split up as what? As bicarbonates and H plus. These bicarbonates will now enter the plasma. Okay. Got this now very clearly? Yes, the same HCO3. These bicarbonates which have been formed, where these have been formed inside the RBCs, now come into the plasma. Perfectly understood, beta? Very clear? No confusion in your mind now? Okay, fine, good. So now what will happen? The plasma will be loaded with bicarbonates. Do you agree? मैंने एक RBC का दिखाया है. You know there are so many RBCs present. So all are going to squeeze out their HCO3 into the plasma. Correct? Got this? Yeah. Now what is going to happen? Now what is going to happen next? Yeah. Okay, now see what is going to happen next. This causes, this causes what? Significant difference in the ionic balance between the ions in the plasma and those inside the erythrocytes. है ना? आयोनिक बैलेंस चेंज हो गया कि नहीं? सब सारे के सारे अभी आरबीसी में से निकल के कहाँ आ रहे हैं? प्लाज्मा में आ रहे हैं. So the concentration of these ions in the plasma will become very high, whereas in the RBCs it's very very low. Correct? To restore the ionic balance, chloride ions diffuse from the plasma into the erythrocytes. See, the balance cannot be shattered. It has to be maintained. The ionic balance have to be maintained. अब अगर ये आयंस HCO3 बाहर आ रहे हैं आरबीसी में से, तो वो बैलेंस पूरा का पूरा चला गया. So to maintain the balance, what will happen? The chloride ions from the plasma will move into the RBCs. Is it fine now? So I had drawn HCO3 coming out. In the same way, plasma में से chloride ions, that is your Cl minus, will move inside the RBCs. Did you understand this? Okay, it's a give and take policy. It's a give and take policy that you give me HCO3 ions, I'll give you Cl minus ions. ठीक है? तो ionic balance maintain हो रहा है, उसमें कोई charges में changes नहीं आ रहे. Fine. See, this movement of chloride ions is called as chloride shift, or it's called as Hamburger's phenomenon, reported by Hamburger in the year 1918. So many a times they ask you about this chloride shift. So why this chloride shift takes place? Have you all understood? ठीक है, चलो फटाफट एक रिकैप दे रही हूँ मैं, फटाफट में एक रिकैप दे रही हूँ आप. Okay, what happens? The cells are going to synthesize byproduct called as carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide will diffuse from the cells or the tissues, as we say. Yes, Bhumi, you're right, my dear. So as we say, the tissues will, give the CO2 to the blood. Okay, it's going to be in three ways. First way, as dissolved CO2 in the plasma. Second is by forming bicarbonates. How would be the bicarbonates being formed? The CO2 which has entered the blood will now enter into the RBC. In the RBC, it will react with water to form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid will be unstable. It will split up to form H plus and HCO3 minus. That is your bicarbonates. Now, once these bicarbonates are made, they'll be coming out from the RBCs into the plasma. Now, there's going to be ionic imbalance. So, to restore the ionic balance, the Cl minus from the plasma would enter into the RBCs. This particular movement is going to be called as what? Chloride shift, or it's called as Hamburger's phenomenon. Okay, so HCO3 will be replaced by Cl minus ions, as Bhumi has very clearly mentioned, and it's perfectly right. Very good, beta. So all of you all have understood till here. Yes. They end up in the plasma. Yes. So there, this one way is what? Direct plasma के अंदर ही CO2 चला गया, और दूसरा क्या है बेटा? दूसरा है अपना HCO3 भी ultimately plasma में ही आ गया. Fine. The chloride shift maintains an acid-base equilibrium of our blood, which is going to be about 7.4 pH. Right? It's going to be around 7.4 for the blood. And electrical balance would be maintained between erythrocytes and plasma. So give and take policy. है ना? Give and take policy. Some of the bicarbonate is carried in the erythrocyte, while most of the bicarbonate is released into the plasma and carried or transported by the plasma. Is it okay now? So both the methods very clear. I know first was very simple कि just carbon dioxide dissolve हो जाता है. 7.4. Your pH of the blood is going to be around 7.4. So 7.4, is it acidic Exactly. Yes, it's going to be rather weakly basic, not very basic, almost, near neutral, but towards basic side. Okay, now, then what happens? See the third method. The third method is as carb amino hemoglobin. Fine. So about 23% of CO2 is transported as carb-amino hemoglobin, which is formed by the reversible combination of CO2 with amino group of globin part of the hemoglobin. So what is going to happen? See, I'll tell you this particular thing. That is, once the oxygen has been removed, once the oxygen has been removed, what would happen? The hemoglobin molecule is free, right? So CO2, almost 23% of the CO2 will now go and occupy those hemoglobin molecules. And at which part will it go and occupy? So hemoglobin has got an amino group, that is NH3. Amino group is NH3 group in the globin part of hemoglobin. So they'll go and react with it to form carb amino hemoglobin. So ऑक्सीहीमोग्लोबिन कैसे बनाता है ना बेटा, वैसे ये कार्ब अमीनो हीमोग्लोबिन बनेगा. So by these three methods, the CO2 is going to ultimately reach the lungs. All three methods clear, my dears? As dissolved CO2, as bicarbonates, and as carb amino hemoglobin. How many? Again, just like your O2, exactly like your O2, same equation, same. Okay. Hemoglobin has more affinity towards CO2 than O2. It depends on the concentration of the both. If CO2 is more, yes, it will get more, attracted towards CO2. But if O2 is more, it will get attracted to O2 as well. Fine. Heme and globin. Globin is the protein. Heme is iron. Hemoglobin का molecule. And heme is going to be your iron compound. And globin is going to be your protein. And protein है तो amino group रहना ही चाहिए. Right? Okay. कार्ब अमीनो सिंपल है. CO2 came and interacted with the amino group, that is NH3 group of the hemoglobin ka globin region. Globin is a protein, so protein will have what? NH3, so it will react with NH3. Okay, so got it? So in this way, carb amino hemoglobin will be formed. So now your CO2 will be a part of whom? Hemoglobin. At which seat? What is the seat number? The seat number is NH3. Okay. Oxyhemoglobin carbon can be there in the blood at the same time. No, my dear. No, no, no. Either or. Musical chair. Either or. Okay. Only one can be accommodated in that particular place. Other has to wait. Both of them cannot be there simultaneously. इधर तक समझा बेटा? एक बार देख लो सब लोग. Come on, just try to get through it. Tell me if anyone has not got it. I'll again explain it. No issues. हाँ, yeah. हाँ, that is what ना, dissociation of oxyhemoglobin अगर नहीं हो रहा है ना, तो क्या हो जाएगा? I'll show you the previous slide. But if it does not take place, if this oxyhemoglobin का dissociation नहीं हुआ, तो your tissues will be overloaded with CO2, right? Which is going to cause poisoning effect. Poisoning हो जाता है पूरा, and eventually all the organs would fail one by one. तो लोग कहते हैं ना कुछ नहीं हुआ था उनको, वो तो ओल्ड एज था ना. सो दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन डाइड ऑफ ओल्ड एज. ओल्ड एज था तो क्या हो गया? व्हाट डज इट हैपन देन? ओल्ड एज है तो ओल्ड एज से जब कोई मर जाता है तो यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड ना कि मतलब क्या. हार्ट का इशू था, नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं था, ब्लड प्रेशर था, नो 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 नथिंग, होल लाइफ ही वाज फाइन. Then what happened, Baba? These things happen. Okay? Dissociation of oxygen does not take place. Carbon dioxide gets accumulated. Organ failure takes place. Dheere, 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 dheere. The organs are going to fail, which will eventually cause death. Okay? Got it? Whole body. Yeah. There will be CO2 accumulation in the body. Yes. So you wanted this. You wanted this slide, right? I know, my dear, but what to do? It's the nature who would decide what is the fate of each one of us. We also don't know. Yeah? Okay, come on. Yeah, you wanted the slide, so I have put up. Done? Okay. Now here you will come to know things much better. Yeah. Well, you can see this, the diagram which I had drawn actually. So this is going to be your plasma. These are the tissue cells. So this is going to be an individual cell. So every cell is going to form carbon dioxide as a byproduct. You can see this. This CO2 is entering into the blood. All the CO2 will enter into the blood, of course. Out of this, look at this particular one. First route we had discussed this. So let us go like this way. CO2 almost 5 to 7%, so around 10% dissolves in the plasma. So this is the liquid portion where plasma is going to be there, and that is going to get, the supply of CO2 which will get dissolved. First route. Second route, देखो बेटा, CO2 enters into the RBC directly. You can very well see this is your RBC. So it will enter into the RBC. Okay, in the presence of carbonic anhydrase and water, it's going to form H2CO3 balancing के लिए bicarbonates, carbonic acid. Sorry, H2CO3, carbonic acid. Carbonic acid will split up. I told you it will split up to form HCO3 and H plus. Right now, this HCO3 from the RBC will squeeze out again into the plasma. Correct? So 70% is converted to HCO3 minus. HCO3 minus diffuses into the plasma. So this was the second route that we studied. And this is the third route. Carbon dioxide enters into the RBC. Okay. It combines with the NH3 group of hemoglobin. Of the globin part, I told you globin is going to be a protein. Protein है तो amino group होना ही चाहिए, because proteins are ultimately what? Chains of amino acids. Correct? So it's going to be combining with hemoglobin to form HbCO2, which is nothing but your carb amino hemoglobin. Okay? So carbon dioxide transport in venous blood. Fine. All of you all have understood this entire part, my dears. Any issues of not understanding anything about it? Come on, tell me. I don't mind explaining it again and again. I want all of you all to be precisely, giving these answers perfectly. I don't want any mistakes from you all, Baba. ये बहुत ही Venus vein to finally reach your superior Vanakava and inferior Vanakava. Yes, yes. Yes, my dear. Cl will be given from the plasma inside the RBC. Correct. Okay, I'll move ahead. Can I move ahead? Can I go ahead with the next one? Okay, fine. Well, then we come to something called as, that's all with your carbon dioxide ka transport. So we have seen the oxygen transport, we have seen the CO2 transport, and you know that blood is going to be the medium through which these transports are taking place. Fine ना? अब है ना, next जो है, this is something, what is your doubt? Pulmonary associated with lungs. Pulmonary is lung. Lung के साथ association. The word pulmonary denotes lung. हाँ. The convenient way was the dissolution in plasma. But then why the diffusion takes place in the long way, the bicarbonate method? It's very simple, my dears, that with respect to stability, your HCO3 ka stability is far more better than the solutions because it is under the influence of certain enzymes. So wherever there are enzymes, there's going to be proper stability of that particular end product. Okay. Yeah. Let us talk about the pulmonary capacity, means lung capacity. So each one of us have got different lung capacities. Of course, it depends upon how much of workout do you all do. Are you all athletes? Do you go for a run every day? Or if you're into, gymming or something like that way, then definitely your lung capacity is going to be more than the person who is sitting the whole day or sleeping the whole day, right? So in that case, their lung capacities are very weak. And when the lung capacity becomes weak, it will not, allow the oxygen to reach the tissues. कम हो जाएगा, उनका वहां पर पहुंचना कम हो जाएगा, फ्लो धीरे हो जाएगा. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट व्हाट वुड हैपन, there would be no breakdown of complex to simple substrates, and then eventually that person, whoever, like, is not able to get good amount of oxygen for the oxidation of food, the food will start accumulating, causing obesity. So इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, those who are obese, जो, who are really very heavy weight, they are told to jog, run, do some exercise. Why? So that when they do that, they're going to take in more of oxygen, and in a very speedy way and forceful way. So more forcefully would the oxygen reach the tissues, better would be the oxidation of the food that has been accumulated, right? And more the food would be broken down, easily they'll cut down their weight. Got it? It's a very simple calculation. So without, doing any sort of physical exercise or some sort of, yoga or something like that way, it's of no use that you can't think of just losing weight by thinking that yes, I want to lose weight. Okay, so it's a very systematic, our body is a machine and it needs to be, given the right type of, what we say, oiling. मशीन को ऑयलिंग नहीं किया तो क्या हो जाएगा? आप साइकिल चलाते हो बेटा, साइकिल में चेन होती है, पता है आपको? चेन में अगर ग्रीजिंग नहीं किया, ऑयलिंग नहीं किया तो क्या हो जाएगा? व्हाट वुड हैपन? वुड इट बी इजी फॉर यू ऑल टू राइड दैट बाइसिकल? So for that smooth movement, you need what? You need proper lubrication. In the same way, even it goes the same with us. Our body is a machine. It requires a proper systematic, workouts and everything. So I know I'm not here as a dietitian or your, physician who is sitting in front of you, but this is a fact that I want to tell you. What we think, I'm putting on weight because I'm eating this. I'm putting on weight because I'm eating that. It's, of course, partially related to eating habits, no doubt, but predominantly related with your breathing habits, I would say. Huh? Do you all realize that you all are breathing? Do you all realize? सच बोलो मुझे. अब जब मैंने बोला, you have started realizing. When I asked you, are you all realizing? Then you started realizing, yes, I'm breathing. But normally we don't. But when you realize that you're breathing, only then you will take deep breaths. And once you start taking deep breaths, you will supply your entire system with maximum oxygen. Yeah, after completing a big task, you'll realize ना, आप ऐसे करते हो, हाँ, finally done. है ना? होता है कि नहीं? एग्जैक्टली बेटा. बट कैपेसिटी कितना है और हम कितना भरते हैं? कैपेसिटी का मतलब क्या होता है? व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय कैपेसिटी? आई हैव गॉट दिस बॉटल. The capacity of this bottle is 1 liter. But have I filled 1 liter of water in this? हाँ. So maximum limit कितना है इसका? तो 1 लीटर का लिमिट है. मैंने कितना भरा है वो मेरे ऊपर है. Have I added 100 ml, 500 ml, 700 ml? Okay. So that is going to be not coming under capacity. So capacity is the maximum volume. Okay. So we are talking about these capacities, beta. How does breathing maximum affect the weight? That's what I said. When you breathe very heavily, you will supply good amount of oxygen to your tissues. That is your cells. The cells are going to have the complex molecules like carbohydrates, fats, proteins. These complex substances need to undergo oxidation. For oxidation, you require more oxygen. So when you supply with more oxygen, there will be faster oxidation of these complex substrates. Right? More would be the breakdown. More will be your loss in your weight. Otherwise, they have going to get accumulated. If they don't get good oxygen, there won't be oxidation. There will be partial oxidation, and they'll get stored in the form of fats. You will become obese. That's what I said just now. Right? I'm telling you that only. What is the maximum and everything? I'm talking about it. See. So let us understand the pulmonary capacities. So one is going to be your tidal volume. Now what exactly is tidal volume? Understand this. Volume of air inspired or volume of air expired with each normal breath. Involuntarily is called as tidal volume. मतलब क्या? आप रियलाइज जब नहीं करते हो ना कि आप ब्रीदिंग कर रहे हो, बोलोगे मैम 24/7 हम रियलाइज करते नहीं है कि हम लोग ब्रीदिंग कर रहे हैं. सो दैट टाइम जितना हम इंस्पिरेशन करते हैं या एक्सपिरेशन करते हैं उसको हम कहते हैं टाइडल वॉल्यूम. इन नॉर्मल पर्सन द टाइडल वॉल्यूम इज ओनली 500 ml. कितना है? 500 ml. Okay, so what is TB? Tidal volume is abbreviated as TB. So what is TB, beta? Normal inspiration and normal expiration is going to be called as TB. Half liter. Yeah, just 500 ml. Okay. Then let us see what is IRV. That is inspiratory reserve volume, or we call it as complemental air volume. Means what? It is the extra volume of air which can be inspired by deepest forced inhalation beyond tidal volume. Okay, that means जब आप प्राणायाम करते हो, योगा करते हो, तो आप क्या करते हो? आप डेलिबरेटली एकदम जोर से डीप ब्रेथ हाथ में अंदर ले लेते हो. Correct? Right? So this is going to be called as what? IRV. So 500 ml तो जाने ही वाला है. Along with that, you're breathing so deep that you're going to reach around how much? 3,000 ml. So look at it. 24/7, you're breathing only 500 ml. At least for 15 minutes of your 24 hours, try to breathe in 3,000 ml. Yes, 3 liters. Yes, exactly. And when you actually do this now, what I want to do? You want to supply more oxygen. More the oxygen, faster is the oxidation. Faster is the oxidation, faster is the weight loss. As simple as that. If you are heading for weight loss. If not, it will help in keeping your organs refreshed. It will help your organs to remain young. It will help your organs to undergo mitosis and make new good cells. So not only losing weight, some of you all might think I'm already so lean. मैं इतनी पतली हूँ, मैं इतना पतला हूँ, और क्या मैं जोर से ब्रीदिंग करूँगा तो और पतला हो जाऊंगा? नहीं रे बेटा, ऐसा नहीं होता है. Then that oxygen would be used for replenishing your worn out tissues. Okay, of course 3,000 is better. Of course. normally only 500 ml second, and it would be better now if we take in. Yeah, of course it is better, but what happens is when we don't realize that we are breathing now, we don't breathe to our fullest. We don't breathe to our fullest. So when we start breathing to our fullest, and when can you breathe to your fullest? You know, when you climb up stairs, you start gasping, and that is the time, you know, you take in maximum oxygen. Or you're doing a workout, a very heavy workout, आप jogging के लिए, या cardio के लिए जा रहे हो, कुछ jogging के लिए जा रहे हो, non stop भाग रहे हो, you will start panting. That is the time you will take in maximum oxygen. Agreed? Did you realize this? Yeah, फिर when you are, you know, early morning, you are getting up and you are doing some yoga practices or something that way, you are forcefully inhaling the, you know, uh, air, right now. So that is going to keep your organs healthy, to be very precise, linked with weight loss and health. That's why, yeah, my dear, correct, my dear. That is the reason that exercising is directly linked with weight loss or maintaining weight also. Okay, and the better you breathe now, you will have very good organs in very good state throughout your life. You will never have problems with pancreas, to not have प्रोडक्शन ऑफ इंसुलिन, कभी नहीं होगा, कभी नहीं होगा, बिकॉज आपके पैनक्रियास को आप इतना ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई करने को अगर स्टार्ट करते हो ना अभी से, तो वो फ्रेश रहेगा, वो कंटिन्यूसली माइटोसिस अंडरगो करेगा, नए सेल्स बनाता जाएगा, है ना, वोर्न आउट सेल्स उसके रेप्लेनिश हो जाएंगे. सेम विथ योर किडनी, सेम विथ योर हार्ट, सेम विथ योर एवरी ऑर्गन इंक्लूडिंग योर ब्रेन, right? So inspiratory reserve volume should always be in your mind, that yes, I have to deliberately breathe in. Okay. Yeah, after wearing a mask also we breathe heavily, I agree. Just now I had some work in my society, so I stay on the ground floor. So I was wearing a mask and I had to go to the fifth floor. So I generally don't prefer, you know, taking lift. मतलब आज की बात नहीं है, बहुत पहले से आई डोंट ट्राई टू, यू नो, आई ट्राई टू अवॉइड लिफ्ट. So fifth floor is like hardly anything. So I started walking the staircase, and once I reached that third floor, na, the first thing I did was, huh, remove the mask down, because it was very forceful there. So I agree, very good. So when we wear a mask, automatically we breathe in more. Anyway, so you understood what is TV and what is IRV. Remember the volumes, beta. उसके volumes याद रखो कितने ml है, हाँ? Okay, no, I never got stuck or something like that way, but I always prefer walking these staircases. हाँ, मतलब एकदम 18th floor है तो I won't, but my building, you know, my society is 7 floors, so that's manageable, है ना? Mask won't let us breathe. Yes, yes, yes. These values will differ with age. Yes, beta. These are going to be normal. So that is what they are saying, a normal person. With age, with certain, disorders like heart का problem है या ऐसा, कभी कभी bones weak हो जाते हैं and all, तो you can't do all these activities, right? Workout with mask? No, no, never work out with mask. Never. Keeps the body healthy. Why not just inhale 100% oxygen instead of exercising? Because only oxygen is not available in nature. That only we saw na. We have got PO2 and PCO2, including other trace gases. So it's not in our hands to just breathe in oxygen. You will have to always carry an oxygen cylinder with you on the back, and then only it's going to be possible. Like buying some, that's what. So you have to buy that oxygen cylinder and keep it with you 24/7. Only then it's going to be possible. But more of such type of oxygen is also poisonous. Okay, it's not going to be very good always. Okay, that is also very dangerous. 100% oxygen को हम nascent oxygen कहते हैं, and it is dangerous. It's always has to have a partial pressure वाला volume. Okay. So TB and IRB clear. Then what is IC? That is inspiratory capacity. मतलब क्या? मैंने नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग करके या नॉर्मल कंडीशन में ये 500 ml मैंने भर दिया है, इमेजिन कर लो. हाँ, फिर मैंने क्या किया, मैंने जोर जोर से ब्रीदिंग करके 3000 ml भर दिया, लेकिन ये बॉटल की कैपेसिटी कितनी है? दैट इज इंस्पिरेटरी कैपेसिटी। तो उस बॉटल की कैपेसिटी, हमारे लंग्स की कैपेसिटी कितनी है? 3500 ml। सो इन स्पाइट ऑफ एक्चुअली टेकिंग इन 3000 ml, still 500 ml is the capacity. You can still enforce the air inside. Okay. Why is nascent oxygen dangerous? Highly reactive. It will react with anything and everything and will become toxic. Highly reactive. Nascent oxygen is highly reactive. Okay. It's going to be having maximum oxidizing, efficiency with everything that it is going to interact with. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Then you see, inspiratory capacity, it is the total volume of air that can be inhaled forcefully after a normal exhalation. So you're, like everything, huh? Maximum limit is 3500. Would it promote any infection? Infection नहीं, बंदा खत्म हो जाता है. I don't know if you have heard about this in last 6-8 months. Pehle, there was oxygen leakage in one of the hospitals. If you have heard about it, and so many people died because of that nascent oxygen. Death hai. It's for a limit, and it is not going to be 100% pure. Okay, and there is a limit to it. You can't have 24/7. Yeah, due to oxygen only they died ना. Leakage था पता है? वो पूरा लीकेज था. वो क्या था, मैनमेड था या नेचुरल था, क्या, आई डोंट नो, बट देयर वाज अ कंप्लीट लीकेज एंड दे वर शोइंग ऑन टीवी आल्सो दोस. उधर के वीडियोस दिखा रहे थे, है ना. It's going to be there for, because they are not in the capacity to take in naturally, na, so they are going to be supplied. They are going to be supplied. Okay, but it won't be like forever. Temporary. It's a temporary source. And last rescue. Okay. Yeah. So what is IC? Dekho, how do you calculate IC? TV plus IRV. So 500 plus IRV is how much? 3000. 3000. So it comes to 3500. So please remember this, beta. Inspiratory capacity is 3500. Inspiratory reserve volume is 3000 ml and tidal volume is 500 ml. So kindly remember these values. ये match the following में question आता है. If this question is not going to be asked in 2022 examination, it is going to be asked in 2023 for sure. No matter, it's total. It's total in both. It's total in both. Fine. There are more capacities and volumes that you want to go ahead with. But have you all understood these three? All of you all have understood these three very precisely. Good. Good. Expiratory reserve volume. So inspiratory was what? Forceful inspiration. So what do you mean by ERV? Forceful expiration. So it is the extra amount of air that can be expired forcibly after a normal expiration. It is about 1100 ml. Okay. Yes, it can be increased by exercising. Yes, my dear, of course. That is what I said. Athletes है, swimmers है, उनकी अच्छी खासी, मतलब आप बोल सकते हो कि it is much better than a normal person like you and me who are doing a monotonous normal sitting and hearing and sitting and talking wala book. That's for sure. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. No problem, beta. It's okay. Yeah. So expiratory reserve volume, it is extra amount of air that can be expired forcibly after a normal expiration. And what is the volume? 1100. So IRV was 3000. ERV is 1100. Okay. What is residual volume? What is the meaning of residual volume? Residual means बचा कुचा, है ना. जो बच जाता है उसको हम रेजिड्यू कहते हैं. Correct? So see, it is a volume of air which remains still inside the lungs even after most forceful expiration. It is about 1200 ml. So even if you forcefully try to throw out air now, still around 1200 ml of air will be remaining in your lungs. That is called as reserve volume. Never ever our lungs पूरी एक्सपिरेशन होने के बाद भी कभी भी हमारे लंग्स में जीरो वॉल्यूम नहीं रहेगा. Okay, it's around 1200 ml. Got it? So expiratory reserve means forceful expiration. Even after forceful expiration, whatever remains is residual volume. Okay. Alveoli, beta. All these are in the alveoli. Air sacs, alveoli. It will be retained in the alveoli. Okay. If it goes to zero, the pressure will be very, it will never go to zero. It's impossible. It's impossible. Okay. Sixth is what, dekho? FRC. What is FRC? Functional residual capacity. Functional means what? It is a normal amount of air that normally remains inside the lungs after normal expiration. So forceful expiration अगर हम करते हैं तो around 1200 रह जाता है. But अगर normal expiration कर रहे हैं तो what it will be? See, ERV plus RV है ना? That is what? 2300. So that is called as your functional residual capacity. So capacity कितनी रहेगी? 2300. उसमें से 1100 बाहर छोड़ दिया हमने, तो 1200 अंदर बच गया. Okay, but once upon a time it had 1100 plus 1200 na. So maximum was how much? 2300, like that. So that is called as your functional residual capacity. So it is the amount of air that normally remains inside the lungs after normal expiration. It is equal to the sum of expiratory reserve volume and residual volume. Got it? What is it? Is residual volume there so that it maintains the shape of the alveoli? Shape of the alveoli, yes, it will, it needs to be always occupied. It cannot become free. Okay. FRC, normal breathing. When you don't realize that you are inspiring and you are expiring, that is normal breathing. That is going to be your ERV, FRC. That is what? Maximum कितना है? Maximum कितना है? 2300 you can accommodate. Okay. Out of which when you do it forcefully, you will give out 1100. If you don't do it forcefully, then you are giving less than 1100. So it's okay. That time instead of 1200, there will be more amount of air present in your lungs. Got it? So instead of 1100, if you are say giving out 800, so you're leaving out normal 700, 800 अगर तुम दे रहे हो out, then what it will be? Around 300 ml आप कम कर रहे हो, कम छोड़ रहे हो, है ना? So then this 1200 will become 1500. So it is ERV plus RV, that is 2300. So अब तक ये 6 समझ में आ गया बेटा? पहले 3 और ये 3, कोई डिफिकल्टी है तो बताओ. Remember the volumes: ERV 1100, RV 1200, FRC is ERV plus RV, that is 2300. Anyone having any difficulty, please tell me. Got it? All of you all got this? Sure? Can I move ahead? Okay. Now this is the 7th and the 8th one. Look at it. Vital capacity. Is this maximum capacity same for all? For children till? No, beta. It is in a normal person. So average and adult. Who is normal? Okay. Yeah. Vital capacities is VC. What does it see? It is the maximum amount of air that can be expelled from the lungs by forced exhalation after the deepest forced inhalation. That means what will happen? You have taken in deep air. That means IRV लिया आपने. PV तो लेते ही है. Normal 500 तो लेते ही है. Plus आप क्या कर रहे हो? Deep inspiration means IRV. Correct? Plus what will happen? You are forcefully throwing it out also. So it is going to be ERV also. Agreed? So it is going to be a combination of 3. VC is equal to sum total of tidal volume, inspiratory volume, forceful inspiration, expiratory reserve volume, forceful expiration, right, is equal to 500 plus 3000 plus 1100, that is 4600 ml is the capacity, vital capacity of our lungs. Vital capacity is higher in mountain dwellers, athletes, young person, and generally in men rather than in women. Okay, I understood this. What is VC? Vital capacity. So it's going to be forceful inspiration, forceful expiration plus normal breathing का तो already filled up है 500 ml. So the volume has gone up to 4600. Fine, got it? Why in men? If you look at it, even if you see any biochemical tests, look at hemoglobin value, look at erythrocyte ka number, look at WBC's count, look at platelet count. Always, yeah, it's always measured as ml. Okay, fine. Yeah. And when you talk about all these values, what is the range that you come across? You will always get higher values for men than in women. It's all because of the hormones. It's all because of the hormones. The way the hormones are going to affect the structural, behavioral, and physical, uh, you know, capacities of men is quite much different than females, women. So the males are always going to have all these things on a higher side as compared to females, right? Okay, yeah. So this is about the VC, and lastly is total lung capacity, TLC. Total, all together. So it will include everything. What all? See, it is the total amount of air that can be present in the lungs after a maximum inhalation effort. So TLC is equal to vital capacities, that is TV, IRV, ERV plus RV, or TV plus IRV, ERV plus RV. Okay, so it's going to be around 5 to 6 liters. Average is around 5800 ml. Fine. So TLC समझ में आ गया पूरा का पूरा, entire thing. It's vital capacity plus reserve volume, or you can call it as, what is VC? VC क्या है? TV plus IRV plus ERV है या नहीं, plus RV. So either you can call it as VC plus RV, या फिर VC को break करो as TV IRV ERV, TV IRV ERV, RV इधर भी है, RV इधर भी है. So this is going to be your total lung capacity, which should be around 5 to 6 liters. If you are healthy, got this? VC and TLC. Should VC be TV plus IRV minus ERV, since it is being, no, it cannot be minus. If it is minus, na, what will happen? Even if it is even if you are expiring, it was there inside na, that time. That much was there inside which we have thrown out. So whatever was there, we have to consider that as a capacity, na beta. Though it is left now, but once upon a time it was there inside, na. So got it? Got it now? So though EC is thrown out, okay, still it was there before. So वो डब्बा भरा था ना पहले, उसमें से 4 लड्डू आपने खा लिए, वो बात अलग है. आपके मम्मी ने 50 लड्डूज बनाए, तो एक डब्बे में 50 लड्डूज हैं, आपने उसमें से 4 खा लिए, तो ऐसे थोड़े ना बोलोगे कि 46 लड्डूज ही थे, right? So once upon a time they were there na, so it's going to be a sum total of all. Okay, got it? Yeah. So these are the 8 most important pulmonary capacities that you have to understand. I hope you all have understood this part very clearly, because ये match the followings में आएगा. Again, I'm telling you, if this match the following question is going to be asked in the coming year's examination, it won't be asked for you. But if it is not going to be there in this year's examination, I'm sure it's going to come for you. because हाँ लास्ट ईयर आया था, इसलिए ये साल नहीं आया. अब अगले साल भी नहीं आया तो पक्का तुम्हारे लिए आएगा, तुम्हारे बैच के लिए डेफिनेटली आएगा. फिर देयर इज अ ट्रिक टू इट. After the exam now you will ask me that had you made the paper, you know, इतना परफेक्ट आ जाते हैं सारे क्वेश्चंस के प्रेडिक्शंस. Okay. Anyways, anyone having any still difficulties in their mind regarding all these? Understood na beta? Good. Fine. Yeah, fine. So see, this is the way they have given in a diagrammatic form. Don't worry. There are 2 volumes and there are 4 capacities. Which are the 2 volumes? IRV and ERV are the 2 volumes. And you have got 4 capacities. Which are those 4 capacities? देखो, IC, VC, FRC, TLC, है ना. तो ये जो है ये अपना नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग चल रहा है. देखो 500 ml अननोन ब्रीदिंग मतलब वी डोंट पे अटेंशन दैट वी आर ब्रीदिंग, वो वाला. IRV देखो 2500 ml, ERV 1500 ml, रेजिडुअल वॉल्यूम 1500 ml. एक एग्जाम्पल दिया है उन्होंने, दे हैव जस्ट गिवन एन एग्जाम्पल. इट्स नॉट लाइक ऑलवेज लाइक दिस वे. ओके. देन इफ यू सी IRV मतलब हमने बहुत ज्यादा एयर अंदर ले लिया, फोर्सफुल इंस्पिरेशन, तो पीक आ गया. लुक एट दिस, फोर्सफुल एक्सपिरेशन, तो ड्रॉप आ गया. अगेन नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग स्टार्ट हो रहा है. गॉट इट राइट? दिस इज योर functional residual capacities which will be having IRV, ERV and RV together, right? ये देखो inspiratory capacity यहाँ से यहाँ, so 2500 plus 500 is going to give us 3000. Okay. Okay, ये बीच में आ रहे हैं, इनको मैं हटा रही हूँ. Then look at this vital capacities, IRV, ERV plus RV, ये देखो, correct, which is 4500 and this is around 5800, but as I said 5 to 6 liters, तो ये टोटल है पूरा का पूरा. Fine. So this is what a representative way of showing your breathing action, like how are you breathing and how it is determined. Volumes means how much you are filling it. Capacity means how much you can fill it. 1 लीटर का बॉटल है, उसका कैपेसिटी है 1 लीटर. मैंने सिर्फ 500 ml भरा, तो कितना वॉल्यूम है अभी उसमें? 500 ml वॉल्यूम है. Okay, so capacity is 1 liter, but amount of water filled is only 500 ml. Like that way. Clear now? So that's about your this. Oh, I need to put on the charger. No. Questions are never asked in the graphical form. Never. Well, so now we come to again a very important part, which is again going to be discussed in the next chapter, as I have told you. But here it's important. What is the curved line? Which is the curved line? सारे curves है यहाँ पर. ये जो है, this is your normal breathing. ये देखो, that is your normal breathing. 500 ml. TV. This is your TV. Okay. Fine. Then we go to something called as respiratory quotient. Now, what exactly is this respiratory quotient? Respiratory quotient is the ratio of volume of carbon dioxide produced divided by volume of oxygen consumed over a period of time in respiration. Means what? How much of oxygen, how much of CO2 I am giving out upon how much of oxygen I am consuming. Okay, fine. That is called as respiratory quotient. See, respiratory quotient varies from different foods that are going to get oxidized during respiration. So, for example, let us take glucose. Respiratory quotient of glucose is 1. How come? So RQ is equal to 6 CO2 upon 6 O2. 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O gives us C6H12O6. Correct? Similarly, when the C6H12O6 will be broken down, what do you get? 6 CO2. Right? 6H2O. Oxygen liberated. How much? 6 O2. So when oxygen consumed and CO2 liberated, if it's going to be the same value, so 6 upon 6 gives us 1. So the respiratory quotient of glucose, or rather I would say carbohydrates, is always going to be 1. For fats, this value is only 0.7. For proteins, it is 0.9. And for organic acid, it is 1.3 to 1.4. फाइन. तो जब फैट्स को ऑक्सीडेशन होता है ना बेटा, तो ये आरक्यू की वॉल्यूम 0.7 ही आती है सिर्फ. दैट मीन्स it's going to be less than 1. Okay. In anaerobic respiration, there is no consumption of oxygen. Correct? Anaerobic है तो no consumption of oxygen. Carbon dioxide is produced in most of the cases. Therefore, the RQ is going to be infinity. Denominator है ही नहीं वहां पर. Okay, so x divided by nothing, so it's going to be infinity. The respiratory quotient indicates the type of food oxidized in the body of the animal during respiration. We use Ganong's respirometer for the same. Very important beta. How do you check the RQ? By Ganong's respirometer. Okay. ये जो RQ का पार्ट है, again it is going to be explained in the chapter of respiration, which is going to be the next chapter. As of now, we do have, so what? So this is going to be your Ganong's respirometer. Okay. So these values, just remember, for carbohydrates it is always 1, for fats it is 0.7, for proteins it is 0.9, and for organic acid it is more than 1, generally 1.3 to 1.4. Okay, ये values भी आते हैं क्वेश्चन में very regularly. These questions are the favorite questions in every exams, so kindly don't make a mess of you. Okay, got this? Difficulty bolo? RQ? Any problem with RQ? No? So what we eat will decide that what would be the volume of RQ. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया बेटा, कि हम कितना ऑक्सीडेशन कर पा रहे हैं जो हमने खाया है उसका. जितना ज्यादा हम लोग ऑक्सीजन कंज्यूम करेंगे, उतना ज्यादा खाया हुआ डाइजेस्ट भी हो जाएगा, है ना. ऑक्सीडेशन क्विक हो जाएगा उसका. फाइन. ओके, देन वी गो टू how much should be the RQ normally. No beta, there is nothing called as a normal volume. Always whenever we consume carbohydrates, the RQ value will be 1. Whenever we consume fats, the RQ value will be 0.7. Whenever we consume proteins, it will be 0.9. And whenever we have organic acids, it's going to be 1.3 to 1.4. It generally doesn't change. Okay, so it depends on what we eat. RQ value will remain same for that substrate, but how much we eat accordingly will be the quick digestion. So इससे एक पता चल रहा है आपको, ये वैल्यू से कुछ एक पॉइंट पता चला आपको. क्या पॉइंट पता चला बेटा? सबसे इजीली डाइजेस्ट होने वाला सबस्ट्रेट कौन सा है? टेल मी. इजीली डाइजेस्ट क्या हो सकता है? इज इट कार्ब? Is it fats? Is it proteins? CO2 content will increase. Evolved. Yeah. Yes. Yes, exactly. Carbohydrates are easily, because 1:1. Glucose है ना, sugars है ना, easy mode of breakdown. Which is the most difficult? Fats are most difficult to get oxidized because see, it is taking so much of oxygen to liberate very little amount of CO2. That means fat oxidation के लिए बहुत पापड़ बेलने पड़ते हैं, है ना? हाँ भाई, क्या करें? फैट्स का डिग्रेडेशन जो है वो सबसे स्लो है, सबसे क्विक कार्बोहाइड्रेट से, सबसे स्लो फैट से, करेक्ट? प्रोटीन्स का डाइजेशन जनरली जो है ना, जो 0.9 वैल्यू है ना, इट्स गोइंग टू बी डन नॉट विद एन इंटेंशन टू गिव एनर्जी, बट इट इज डन टू मेक रॉ मटेरियल्स लाइक अमीनो एसिड्स एंड ऑल. But of course, it is 0.9, so still it is lesser than 1. The most easily digested is going to be carbs. Okay, now, well, what are the common respiratory diseases? Pharyngitis, जो सबको हमको होता ही रहता है. It is an inflammation of the pharynx, often called as sore throat. It's common, na? It may accompany the common cold, and it usually involves inflammation of the tonsils. तो गले में खराश, there, है ना? Sometimes it feels very painful if you even drink water. Sore throat, that's called as pharyngitis. Okay. Laryngitis, it is the inflammation of the larynx that often accompanies pharyngitis. In laryngitis, inflammation of the larynx disturbs the vibration of vocal cords and speaking is difficult or impossible. जिसको हम गला बैठ जाना बोलते हैं. क्या कहते हैं? मेरी आवाज बैठ गई है, मेरा गला बैठ गया है ना? गला बैठ जाना, आवाज बैठ जाना का मतलब क्या है? Laryngitis. Have you all ever, and I don't know, I mean this is a common thing that I've seen, that if any person is having laryngitis now, that is the only time when that person want to speak maximum. वो कभी इतनी बात नहीं करेगा, लेकिन जब उसको laryngitis हुआ है ना तो करके सबसे ज्यादा बात करता है. आपने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि नहीं पता नहीं, बट ये मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन है. Normally that person is not talking, but whenever वो गला बैठ जाएगा ना तो वो जोर से ऐसा खींच खींच की आवाज, अरे भाई इतना सुनने में ही हमारे तकलीफ हो रही है, तू चुप बैठ जा. बट नहीं, तभी उसको सबसे ज्यादा बोलना होता है ना? Anyways, but this is a fact that I have observed, so I asked you. When they remain quiet, they get too many points to speak about it. Exactly. All of a sudden, they are, the orators in the house then. Yeah, if your friends, then they are, like they always, then will try to talk to each one of you in the group. मेरे friends ऐसे बहुत थे. My college friends and all ना, used to deliberately do this to irritate us. So we used to get very irritated. यार चुप बैठ ना, तू क्यों अभी आज के ही दिन तुझे बोलना है? तू सुन ले करके, there were people who used to irritate us. Yeah, that is also there. That is called laryngitis, आवाज बैठ जाना, right? Bronchitis, it is like inflammation of the bronchi, as the name. Bronchitis is caused by an infection or some other forms of irritation. Like you might have inhaled something, smoke, or sometimes, वो धूप जलाते हैं, पता है आपको? अगरबत्ती या धूप जलाते हैं ना, तो भी कॉफिंग होता है. वो पूरा अंदर धुआं चला जाता है तो यू आर अनेबल टू स्पीक. वो इरिटेशन होता है गले में. बट to a time being it is okay, but if it is continuous now, then it is a bit difficult. Some people have got certain allergies also. Yeah, तड़का लगता है सब्जी में तो ये कॉमन है ना? करेक्ट. या एनीवे, बट prolonged है तो bronchitis, normal है तो for a second it's okay, a minute or two it's okay. Then we have got asthma, which is really like one of the major causes of respiratory, damage. See, it is caused by an allergic reaction to the foreign substances that affects the respiratory tract. Allergens stimulate the release of histamine from the mast cells. So, histamine is a chemical that is going to be synthesized by a group of cells called as mast cells to prevent that allergic, effect to spread. but in an event now it causes a lot of irritation. Okay, histamine causes a bronchial smooth muscles to contract, and that is the reason then breathing becomes difficult. स्मूथ मसल्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गए, सो नॉर्मल इतना पैसेज था, इतना पैसेज है सपोज, तो अभी क्या हो गया, स्मूथ मसल्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गए तो पैसेज कम हो गया, सो इसकी अब कैपेसिटी कम हो गई. ओके, या इन ट्रेकिया आल्सो यू कैन हैव इन्फेक्शंस, ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन हैव. सो दैट्स अस्थमा. एक्सहेलिंग इज मोर डिफिकल्ट देन इनहेलिंग इन केस ऑफ अस्थमा. तो वो एक टिपिकल आवाज आती है जिसको अस्थमा का इशू है ना, दे विल हैव अ टिपिकल साउंड व्हेन दे वांट टू exhale the air out. एक अजीब टाइप की एक आवाज आती है, that is because of asthma. Emphysema, very important. It is the respiratory disorder. Many septa means compartments, cross walls between the alveoli are destroyed. So there are, that day we saw the bunch of grapes, right? So all those will get destroyed and will form one large sac. Fine. And much of the elastic tissue of the lung is replaced by connective tissue. Major causes are cigarette smoking and inhalation of other smoke or toxic substances over a period of time. So generally the people who are chain smokers are the ones who will definitely have this emphysema. Yeah, for drug addicts, right? The ones which inhale the smoke, okay, they are going to have this emphysema. So what happens, the alveoli are highly elastic, right? But when the elastic tissue is going to be, replaced with connective tissue, what would happen? The elasticity is gone. And when they cannot squeeze, when they cannot, because of elasticity, there's a very good capacity to get squeezed, to get normal and all those things, now that will be impaired. So it's going to cause a lot of, what we say, breathing difficulty. Fine. And there is going to be deposition of the cigarette smoke or these smokes in the alveoli. एक ऐसे आपने टार रोड देखा है बनते हुए? टार देखा है बेटा आपने? तो जो टार होता है ना, वैसे पूरे एल्वियोलाई के वॉल्स में है ना, ऐसे टार के जैसा एक ऐसा चिक्कट बन जाता है, पूरा स्टिकी ब्लैक सूट के जैसा. यस, ओके. So that is the way emphysema affects the lungs. Does the asthma pump contain some medicine which reduces the effect of histamine? Yes, my dear. Yes, perfectly right. Perfectly right. And therefore it restores the size again. Right? You have seen in advertisements now. Yeah, generally they show even in this thing. अपना अभी तो theaters बंद है, but if you go in theaters then पहले वो cigarette smoking is injurious to health वाला एक ad आता है आजकल, right? तो उसमें दिखाते हैं वो पूरे लंग्स काले हो जाते हैं, है ना? Yeah, exactly. So that is what is emphysema. Then you have got hypoxia. Hypoxia is like a suffocation. So it is insufficiency of oxygen reaching the tissues of the body. So as I said just now, so if good amount of oxygen doesn't reach the tissues, then CO2 accumulation will start. That is hypoxia. Yawning. Do you all yawn? बोला हाँ मिस, आपके लेक्चर में हम लोग बस यही करते रहते हैं, है ना? ऐसे ही करते हो ना कि सो ही जाते हो? क्या करते हो, यौन करते हो कि सो जाते हो? अभी आज तुम्हें चांस मिला है बोलने के लिए, कम ऑन टेल मी. हाँ, मैम का लेक्चर चालू हो गया, चलो यॉर्निंग स्टार्ट. फिर इवेंचुअली आधे घंटे में anyways, victim of passive smoking for a long amount of time be potentially a victim of emphysema? Yes, my dear. Yes. A person who is smoking for years together is surely going to have emphysema. Okay. Well, so yawning. What is yawning? See, a deep inspiration through widely opened mouth, producing an exaggerated depression of the lower jaw, may be stimulated by drowsiness or fatigue. So that is yawning. So when we open our mouth, what do? We take in more air inside. It's a wrong way of taking in air. Huh? It's always, it should be through the nostrils and not via the mouth. But we do it, right? Why? Because we are very much tired or fatigue है या फिर थोड़ी नींद है तो drowsiness है तो ये होता है. Fine? Yeah, it is, of course, but this is not a right method of taking in air. Na, the mouth does not have the hair to trap the microbes. Correct? Okay. What is pleurisy? In this disease, the pleural membrane surrounding the lungs get inflamed and scrap against each other during breathing. तो वो एक दूसरे के साथ friction करा के damage हो जाते हैं. It's a very painful event. Very painful. Yeah, eyes get watery. Exactly. Right. Okay. We should not suppress, but then it's better you go to you know like rather than मोबाइल पे बैठ के टाइम पास करने से फिर थोड़ा नींद जल्दी ले लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. हाँ, रात को एक एक दो दो बजे तक जो चैटिंग करते हो, गेम्स खेलते हो, यॉन करते करते करते, बेटर गो टू स्लीप अर्ली ना. फिर वो मोबाइल कौन देखेगा, है ना. योर कट ऑफ टाइम इज 10. दैट्स गुड. दैट्स रियली गुड. यू शुड रिस्ट्रिक्ट योरसेल्फ. अदरवाइज पूरे दिन चालू टाइम पास, है ना. दैट्स रियली किलिंग. 12? Oh my god. Study till 3, so it's common. Anyway, so pleurisy समझा बेटा. Coughing, very common. Coughing is a protective reflex to get rid of the irritation in the throat and respiratory passage. The irritation may be caused by inhaled चाहिए, inhaled नहीं है, inhaled dust, food, smoke, mucus from lungs or nasal passages. So we generally cough to get rid of all these things, right? Sneezing, it is again a protective reflex to get rid of the irritation in the nasal passage. कभी कभी कुछ ऐसे you feel that tingling effect in your nose sometimes, see, and then you start sneezing. It is just to eliminate that thing from your nasal pathway. Okay, तो जब छींक आती है तो जनरली कुछ तो irritation होता है. Hypotension is also insufficient supply of O2 to tissues. So hypoxia is also the same. हाँ, in a way the same, but here it is going to be reaching the final stage of the tissues to reach the cells to break down the food in hypoxia. Okay. हाँ, we sneeze 3 to 4 times in एक continuously छींक आती जाती है ना. डस्ट, स्पेशली डस्ट पार्टिकल्स जाते हैं तो, या फिर वो तड़का देते हैं वो टाइम पे भी ऐसे ही होता है. मसाला डालते हो तो कभी कभी it just blows out in your nose, gone. Continuous sneezing. It happens, yes. Yeah. But whooping cough is something which is a matter of concern. See, whooping cough is caused by a bacteria called as Haemophilus pertussis. It spreads by discharge from throat of infected person. You know what is whooping cough? When those people cough now, they make a very typical sound, and it's gonna जैसे कि in Marathi we call it डांग्या खोखला. I don't know if you have heard of it. It's a very odd sound that is produced while coughing. It's a dry cough. That cough is dry actually. हाँ. Yeah. People who smoke, they are sure to have whooping cough and all. Emphysema, whooping cough बहुत बार होता है. Yeah, we call it as, in Marathi it's specifically called as dangya khokla. Okay, sneezing makes your heart stop for a second. Yes, it does. Okay, that's your whooping cough. TB, tuberculosis. It is caused again. What is the difference between 9 and 11? 9. Coughing is normal coughing. Whooping cough is caused by the bacteria Haemophilus pertussis. This is caused by inhalation of all these things. This is temporary. This is forever. Okay. This is most dangerous. TB is caused by seeing a person. That दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड ना जस्ट नाउ, दैट कॉफिंग की आवाज ही इतनी गंदी तरीके से होती है कि तुरंत समझ में आ जाता है कि इसको वूपिंग कफ हुआ है करके. दैट साउंड ओनली विल टेल यू. नॉर्मल कॉफिंग इज नथिंग, लाइक सिंपल. खांसी आती है जाती है. Yeah, here the coughing is going to be dry. Whooping cough is dry cough, and your normal coughing is wet coughing. Antibiotics, no, it will reoccur again if that person has not stopped or quit smoking. Okay, so that person has to completely quit smoking. Otherwise, not. Okay. TB, you might have heard about this very frequently. Tuberculosis, TB. It is caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It spreads through sputum of the infected person. Sputum means when you cough, okay, those droplets which are given out, okay, is going to be the sputum. Fine. The saliva, in general, we can call it as saliva. But this saliva will be having a lot of mucus. Okay. Yeah. So see, sputum is mucus expelled from the trachea via the mouth. It contains the mucus trapped dust particles as well as the bacteria. The bacteria of TB releases a chemical called as tuberculin. This tuberculin is toxic, which causes fever, loss of weight, general weakness. The bacteria damages the lung alveoli and causes continuous coughing. Tuberculosis can be cured by BCG vaccine. Okay, so I'm giving you a homework for today. In the next class, we'll meet on Wednesday. I want you all to tell me the full form of BCG. I know you will Google it right now and tell me within a second. I don't want that. I don't want a single answer today. I want this answer on Wednesday. What is the full form of BCG? And yeah, you have to take that BCG vaccine. Very first vaccine. Yes. Yes. It's a booster. After that, whatever you take are the booster doses. But I want you all to tell me the full form of BCG on Wednesday, not today. Influenza or flu, common to all of us. It is a viral disease. The common symptoms are fever, pain in the body, and arid discharge through the nose. Okay. Mountain sickness. I don't know if you have ever experienced this mountain sickness. Persons living in plains, when ascend mountains above 8,000 feet from sea level, develop symptoms of mountain sickness within 8 to 24 hours. The symptoms are breathlessness, headache, dizziness, nausea. Nausea is vomiting like feeling. You don't vomit, but you feel like vomiting. है ना? Nausea, vomiting, mental fatigue, and even bluish tinge of skin, nails, and lips. Sometimes, if it's very severe, then lips become bluish in color, nails become bluish in color, that person becomes pale and bluish in color. Okay, this is because the partial pressure of oxygen, that is PO2, falls with the fall of atmospheric pressure and rise of altitudes. Okay, so when we move higher and higher and higher, the altitude will increase, correct? But what will happen? The pressure, that is the atmospheric pressure, will fall down. So if the pressure of air only is going to fall down, automatically the pressure of oxygen also will go down now, correct? So this lowers the PO2 in the alveolar air and consequently reduces diffusion of oxygen into the blood. The fall in oxygenation of blood produces mountain sickness. So that is the reason, people, when you go to Leh and Ladakh, have you all heard about this? आजकल बहुत लोग जाते हैं लेह लद्दाख घूमने के लिए, है ना? It's fine of course, but there are people who go on bike. देखा आपने? This is again a very famous trend that is going on, to go on a bike, right? I would say, I know it's a bit dangerous, but yeah, mountain biking. I know. This is a trend nowadays. But you go by a bike or a car, that's fine. You know why? Because your body will get acclimatized to that particular lower pressures. If you fly directly, ओके, अगर आप एयर फ्लाइट से अगर डायरेक्टली जाते हो ना बेटा, तो है ना आपके बॉडी को उस पर्टिकुलर लो PO2 के साथ एडजस्ट करने के लिए टाइम नहीं मिलता है, एंड दैट इज द रीजन पीपल डाई. when your body does not get acclimatized. Acclimatize का मतलब क्या है? धीरे 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 उसको आदत कराना. So when you're moving on a bike or when you're moving in a car, what is happening? You are moving from your normal plain area and you're moving up. So then what will happen? धीरे धीरे तुम्हारे बॉडी को है ना एडजस्ट होने के लिए टाइम मिलेगा. So then that is not a problem. But people who directly fly na, they are at more risk. Yes, so there is going to be sudden death in these particular cases. Yes, exactly. So this is what has been observed. Okay, and mountain sickness normally will subside once your body gets used to it. Otherwise, वो प्रॉब्लम करता है. तो कभी भी आपको कहीं भी जाना है ना बेटा, तो गो इन अ वेरी सिस्टमैटिक वे. फाइन. डायरेक्टली फ्लाई करने पर प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. एट योर एज नहीं होती है जनरली, बट स्टिल वी कांट से same as decompression sickness. Yes, 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 it is the same. It is the same. Like I had a friend, not now, it's like 10 years before. So he was that time much young, like 10-15 years before probably. And he was, and he was very particular about his diet, his food habits, and exercise and everything. He was very particular about all these things. And he had been to some such type of mountain trailing, but he had been by flight over there. And he couldn't be saved. He got this sudden death wala ek ye aa gaya uska, because his body could not get acclimatized to that particular low oxygen pressure, and he died because of that. So it happens. It happens. Okay. Train doesn't go to that particular area. It has to be the road transport or air transport. There are no trains to go over there till that high altitudes. Okay. So that's mountain sickness. Have you all understood this very perfectly? TB, influenza, mountain sickness. You can, but train जाती ही नहीं है ना वहाँ तक. Put your head out. What will happen because if you put your head out? You don't need to put your head out. Head out कभी नहीं डालना पापा. नॉर्मल ब्रीथिंग करो अंदर बैठ के. हेड बाहर डाल के क्या तुम्हें ज्यादा कुछ मिलने वाला है नहीं. इट्स द पार्शियल प्रेशर प्रेजेंट एवरीवेयर. आउट ऑफ द ट्रेन ज्यादा, इनसाइड द ट्रेन कम, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता बाबा. प्लीज. हिकअप्स. व्हाट आर हिकअप्स? बोलते हैं ना, कोई याद कर रहा है, कोई याद नहीं कर रहा है. क्या होता है देखो. Inspiratory spasm caused by sudden contraction of diaphragm accompanied by loud closure of glottis. इसीलिए वो छींकने पर एक अपने हिकअप पे एक आवाज आती है. वो दैट हिक 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 जो है ना. हाँ, यस. उचकी, वी कॉल इट एज उचकी, हिचकी. हिंदी में हिचकी कहते हैं, मराठी में उचकी कहते हैं, इंग्लिश में हिकअप्स कहते हैं, whatever. So it is because of what? Sudden contraction of the diaphragm accompanied by a loud closure of your glottis. So that typical voice comes, and you will do like this way. Why? Because your diaphragm is getting, it's undergoing contraction. Okay, so याद बात कोई नहीं कर रहा है. That is the time your body is demanding more oxygen. Yes, yes, we can provide oxygen only by drinking water that time. So that is the reason we say ना पानी पी लो, है ना. हिचकी लगती है तो बोलते हैं कि नहीं पानी पी लो फटाफट. Spasm means sudden contraction. एक all of a sudden अगर कुछ होता है ना, sudden contraction होता है ना, it's called as spasm, inspiratory spasm. Okay. 4 ग्लास पानी पी लिया, अच्छी बात है, that's good. अगर फिर भी सबसाइड नहीं होता है, then you should eat jaggery. जैगरी खाने पर भी वो तुरंत ये हो जाता है, because जैगरी क्या करेगा? Jaggery is a carbohydrate which will be immediately broken, down into, your simple sugar है वो. So it will undergo oxidation very quickly. It will liberate oxygen internally. Then 16th is cyanide poisoning, जिसको हम histotoxic anemia कहते हैं. Okay? Close your nose and breathe from mouth. Yeah, so that you take maximum oxygen inside, na. Even if you take long breaths ना, तो भी ऐसे ही हो जाता है. You can get rid of it, or you can stop breathing for a second or two and then again resume it. So that you know when you stop it, what will happen? You can take deep breaths then. इसीलिए stop करना होता है. Yeah, yeah. Then what is cyanide poisoning? See, hiccup. Hiccup is हिचकी बेटा. Your diaphragm is all of a sudden getting contracted. एक झटका लग जाता है diaphragm को. और जब उसको झटका लगता है ना तो ग्लोटिस बंद हो जाता है, क्लोज हो जाता है ग्लोटिस. तो जब ग्लोटिस वो एपिग्लोटिस का जो फ्लैप है ना वो ठप करके ग्लोटिस पे आके उसको बंद कर देता है. सो दैट इज क्लोजर ऑफ योर ग्लोटिस. Okay, so diaphragm gets contracted and glottis is going to get closed. So that is the reason you get that hiccup. It is happening because of less of oxygen tension in your body. Got this? समझा? Yeah. Then cyanide poisoning causing inactivation of cytochrome. Cytochrome oxidase enzyme of mitochondria leads to asphyxia and death. Asphyxia means suffocation. So causing inactivation of cytochrome oxidase enzyme. So there is an enzyme called as cytochrome oxidase present in our mitochondria. Okay, so that is going to get inactivated, which causes complete choking, breathlessness, and eventually death. Fine. And carbon monoxide poisoning क्या होता है? Carbon monoxide affinity for hemoglobin is about 3 times more than oxygen. See, so if there is carbon monoxide present around us now, hemoglobin will be happily moving to combine with carbon monoxide rather than oxygen. उसको कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड से हद से ज़्यादा प्यार है. तो वो कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड उसके अगर कई विसिनिटी में आ गया ना हीमोग्लोबिन के, बस खुशी खुश हो जाता है वो. So instead of combining with oxygen, it will combine with CO. Okay, it forms a stable carboxyhemoglobin, which will give cherry red color to our blood. Hence, it will definitely, now that the hemoglobin will be occupied with carbon monoxide, so there is no place for oxygen. So this will decrease the oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin. So overall, the person will have less oxygen in the body. Correct? So that is called as carbon monoxide poisoning. समझ में आ गई बात? सो हिकअप है, साइनाइड पॉइजनिंग है, कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड पॉइजनिंग है. ये ऐसे हमने 17 डिफरेंट डिसऑर्डर्स देखे हैं एसोसिएटेड विद ब्रीदिंग एंड एक्सचेंज. हैव ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल फॉलोड दिस परफेक्टली? Cyanide poisoning is nothing. It's, you know what is cyanide? Cyanide is poison, right? This poison is going to inactivate an enzyme, the enzyme of mitochondria. The name of this enzyme is cytochrome oxidase enzyme, and that will cause suffocation and death. So cyanide agar by mistake खा लेते हैं लोग, okay, तो of course they are going to die. And why are they going to die? Because mitochondrial enzyme is going to get inactivated, and that is going to cause suffocation and death. Now, what is the role of cytochrome oxidase enzyme? Surely I'll let you all know in the chapter of respiration. So our next chapter is going to be respiration on Wednesday. So we complete the chapter of breathing and exchange, and I hope you all have understood this chapter very clearly. Something extra spicy, I get it. Yeah. That is also because it is going to prevent the combination of oxygen with hemoglobin. Okay, that is the reason. Well, so I hope you all have understood this chapter ना. कोई difficulty नहीं है ना बेटा इसमें? SARS जो है ना, SARS जो है ना, it is nothing. It is your severe acute respiratory syndrome. ये मैंने specifically add किया है in your this particular chapter. The reason is because of coronavirus. Look at this. SARS is highly infectious disease caused by coronavirus. Coronavirus is RNA virus. We know this now. Its genome was sequenced within 15 days. The origin of SARS is from South China. From South China, this disease spread to Hong Kong. Bird sellers and persons in contact with birds used to suffer from SARS. Symptoms of infections are flu-like symptoms. Fever occurs with dry cough. There is difficulty in breathing, fluid filled in lungs, and death occurs within week of infection from the respiratory failure. So these things are now we all are aware of course. Rate of death was initially 4%, but now the death rate has increased to 10%. Line of treatment is to remain quarantined and to have ribavirin drugs. The causative agent of SARS was identified by Dr. Malik Pierces of Microbiology Department of Hong Kong University. So this is SARS, which you know now, you all know it very well. But this was an extra point that I wanted to add in this particular uh, chapter. Okay, so we complete with one more chapter of 11th standard, and we'll go ahead with one more chapter that is going to be respiration in the coming week. Fine, beta. चल, see you all. Enjoy your weekend. गरबा तो है नहीं खेलने के लिए अभी फिलहाल, but enjoy your days. Okay, bye bye. See you all. See you all.